Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. So as you can see today we have Mom or Grammy.
Hi.
So if you follow me on Instagram, and if you aren't, stop what you're doing, click the link below to my Instagram and make sure you follow me so you can stay updated with me every day, different types of content, different things like that. But on the other day there was an incident with me and Nala that sparked a lot of conversation on my social media, and a lot of y'all had reached out and asked me about it and to talk further about it, and I said I would do a YouTube video, so here we are. So
this is a triggering topic for me because I don't get it. I don't understand it. I come from a whole different era, so I guess it's foreign to me, and I just don't align with that way of thinking. But everybody's got their own thing, and I have raised my children, so I don't have to deal with it.
okay, so what happened was Nala and I were at Target, and my mom and Olivia were on the phone, and she hit me in the face with her little like pumpkin wand thingy. It wasn't hard, she just like hit me. So I was like, Nala, don't do that again. And so like a few seconds later she did it again, and so I was like, do you want me to pop you? Which I was wrong. I immediately apologized and was like, Mommy is so sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Like, that is a threat, which we don't do. We used to do the pops and we stopped doing them a long time ago, but I just out of frustration said it, which was completely wrong. So I apologized to her, I acknowledged I was wrong, and so she started crying. And so I said,
I don't remember what you said.
I said, Nala, do you need support right now? And my mom just like flipped out and was like, what do you mean does she need support? So I asked her, Nala, do you need me to support you? And then she's like, yeah.
See, the context of this is different. I remember this situation a whole different
How?
way. The way I remember the situation was we had picked her up from school and you asked her if she had to potty. She said, no,
Oh,
Mommy.
I left that out.
She said, no, Mommy, I don't got pee-pee
She
potty.
peed in her car seat.
And I said, oh,
no, that happened at Target. That happened at Target.
Anyway,
Okay,
she wound
so
up peeing
I'm
in
sorry.
her pants.
I left that out. When we got in the car from Target, I missed her by like 10 seconds. She peed, and I was about to put her on her portable potty, and she peed in her car seat, which I'm not going to get upset because I just didn't get her on the potty quick enough.
And I remember her hitting you in the face.
She hit me in the face with the pumpkin thing.
But I still remember her. I remember she hit her in the face. And
I said,
she
don't
told
do
her,
it
don't,
again.
or I'm gonna pop you. And then what did she do? Nala being Nala,
She
hit her in the
me
face again.
And
Okay.
so I asked. She started
She
crying.
started just screaming, and I was like, "Why are you screaming? You peed your pants and you hit your mom in the face twice, and you're screaming? No,
But
you should
I
not be screaming."
acknowledged in that moment, I told her I was so sorry for saying about the pop because we don't do pop.
But I don't think you were wrong for saying that because.
But we don't do that. That's a threat that I wasn't going to follow through with. That was an idle threat, and we don't do that. I should not have said
true,
that.
idle threat should, but she should have got popped because
But we don't do pops.
I really feel like there is no consequence for behavior sometimes where Nala is concerned. I just don't,
There is, but we talk through them. Just because it is not physical punishment, which is what you grew up and what you did to us, doesn't mean there is not a consequence. When I asked her, does she need support? She said, yes, Mommy, I need you to support me.
And I thought that was the craziest crap ever. You just did 3 things there that warrant a butt cutting. And when I say butt cutting, I don't mean, the bloody back like in slave time. I mean a spanking, because we are trying to get you on the track to potty training. Now, true, the potty training thing was her fault because she did not get her on there in time. She was trying to get the car cool because
it's hot.
But then you have to, with toddlers, you gotta catch them when you catch them.
But I
kind of know this because I had to.
But I was moving very quickly, and she is very hot. And when she gets hot, she gets very grumpy. So
what would you rather have, a hot car or a hot pissy car? I'm all for just having a hot car.
But
while you're on the potty, then we're gonna start the car. But anyway, it triggered the crap out of me because she did 3 things, and you are sitting here. Do you need support? No, you need support. All right, you need support of my hand on your hind part, spanking your butt.
I said, do you need support? And she told me, yes, Mommy, I need support. I said, you are seen, you are heard, and I hear you. Let's talk this through.
She too.
And
no.
Yes.
No.
Why? That's the problem. Why? And this has been our problem since I've become a parent. Why can you not talk to a child that she is understanding? It's not like she's a child that is not talking or not verbal or she's not understanding what we're saying.
And that's the thing. She's understanding. So you're understanding. You have to know, as a small child, there are repercussions to do with it.
Yes, it doesn't have to be hitting them. But why do you have to put your hands on a child?
But
I don't, y'all, and we're not arguing.
We're not.
I'm just getting so passionate. I'm so passionate.
And I am so passionate about it.
I don't get it.
Because she's gotten to the point where she said, Nala can't stay at your house overnight, or Nala can't spend weekends with you because I will tell everybody in the land, my house is a whoop house. I'm not spanking you because you breathe, but I do spankings at my house.
Y'all,
if you come to
she
Granny's
does
house,
the smallest thing, and when she's here visiting, Nala will do the smallest thing, and she's like, whoop her, spank her.
That's so not true. That is so not true.
Olivia, put in the comments, am I lying? Olivia,
that is so not true.
Hold on one second.
Go
ahead, because I'm.
That is so not true. But I do believe my Grammy's house is whoop behind house. You come to my house, you do something wrong, you are going to get a spanking for doing something wrong. And I'm Grammy. You can get away with a whole lot.
No,
we do Tootsie Rolls at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's kind of our thing, me and her Tootsie Rolls. But she can get away with a whole lot. But again, I feel like if you do not, that's
not true.
If you don't control behaviors when they're small, if she's hitting you in the face at 2, she's gonna be kicking you in your butt at 5.
But when she does it and we talk through it, she's gotten to the point in that moment when she hit me again, and I supported her and I said, you're seeing you're hurt, let's talk through it. And I said, do you understand you're not supposed to hit mommy? She immediately said, mommy, I'm so sorry, and she gave me kisses and we talked about it, and she did not do it
but this ain't the first time she didn't hit mommy.
But in a while though.
In a while at all. I just really feel like when
it's been since she was like 1.
Like when you all were kids, you all would have never ever thought we would. I'm not saying you wouldn't have been in a situation where you wouldn't have potted on yourself, because that was a complete, her fault. She didn't put the baby on the potty. Completely her fault. But you all would have never thought to hit me in my face, hit me nowhere, because we just didn't do that.
But a lot of things that we did as children, or we didn't do, was because it was out of sheer and pure terror.
And I'm good with that.
But why do you want your children to be terrorized? Literally, this is bringing tears to my eyes, because why do you want your children to be terrorized or terrified of you?
Because you're not my friend, you're my child.
But why can they not be your friend and your child?
I am responsible for bringing you up in a way.
But that doesn't make sense. That doesn't mean you just haul off and hit somebody.
I've never just hauled off
your mom to do that. There were certain things that you wanted your mom to be understanding about, right? But you said you didn't get that.
I didn't get that, but you know what? Healthy, happy, responsible adult. Raise 2 healthy, happy, responsible adults. I
don't understand in previous generations how that makes children now. So when children, they did back then, when we were growing up, if I said, you were like, Jessica, clean your room up. Had I dare said, why, mommy? I would have got something tossed. I would have got slapped across the room.
Whole facts. You know why?
But why?
Because you're old enough to know to keep your doggone room
clean.
But
if I'm asking a question, or if I would have said, I remember one time I said, Ma, hold on you told me to do something. I said, Ma, hold on 1 second. I got a cast iron skillet thrown
smooth at her head.
And then you yoked me up.
Sure did.
Because I said, Ma, hold on 1 second.
Because
why can't we talk about it? Why can't you have said, Jessica, what you got going on? Or why? Why can't we talk?
You were a teenager. I don't know you an explanation.
You have to put your hands on somebody. I don't understand that. That literally is not right.
And if you feel like that's not the way you want to raise your child, I completely get it and I completely understand.
But then how do y'all wonder, now that I'm almost 29 in December, so as my generation was growing up, then the parents would say, well, why you angry? Why you got anger problems? Why you don't know how to communicate? Or when we get in relationships, then we can't communicate properly. It's because for our entire childhood, we were never able to have a voice. We were never able to talk. We were never able to have an opinion. We were never able to question anything.
That's not true. That's not true.
And then you wonder why, like, okay, so this is a trigger warning. that if there's a sexual predator and they're trying to do something and they're asking you to do something, because our generation was not taught, and I was never abused in any form of that way by like an adult or anything like that. But like we weren't able to taught to question things. So if somebody told you to do it, you were just supposed to do it. Versus now, the way that we're raising Nala, if somebody asked her that, why?
But as a child,
like we're telling her to question you. If you tell her to do something, why, Grammy? Question the police. Question me. Question her mom. If I said, like back then, if you would say, Jessica, jump off the bridge, I was supposed to just, no questions asked, jump off the bridge.
But as the parent,
why?
But as the parent, I know,
question.
don't tell your child to jump off the bridge, because she probably will. And I have been in situations where you can't always ask why. You have to receive, wait a second.
Why?
Wait a second. You have to receive direction and move out, and we can discuss it later. But if there's something I'm asking you to go do, please just go do it, and we can discuss it later.
What if I'm not
I can't explain it right now, Jess. Can we just
Mommy,
do this?
I'm not comfortable. I could never have said, but Mommy, I'm not comfortable.
You really could not have said that.
Just like back when I was younger, you used to say, go and give somebody so and so a hug. We're leaving. What if I wasn't comfortable?
Now, I agree with that. I agree with,
and
I was wrong with that. I'm saying I was wrong.
Give them a kiss. What if
I never made you kiss nobody? I never made you kiss nobody. Like
family members, you say give them a kiss, bye. Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I never made you kiss nobody.
I wasn't uncomfortable, but like I was like, or like, I won't say no uncle, but you know, one of the crackheads. But like, the main one, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But
brunch with a cigarette,
right? So
that
literally,
I
was terrified because that person, which is a family member, took my hand at like less than 10 years old and told me, "Come and go, give me," and she said, "Tell him bye, give him a kiss." And he took my hand like this and took a lit cigarette that was hot as and burnt me in the middle of my hand.
That I didn't see.
It was so painful.
That I didn't see.
She wasn't there. But you turned around, but you told me, give him a kiss, bye. And after that, I was terrified of him, and you still would say, tell him bye. Give him a hug, bye, give him a kiss. I wasn't comfortable. So why force a child to do things if they're not comfortable? So what we do is we've been trying to do it. Sometimes we slip up, we're not perfect. But here recently, heavily, since she's been like 2, we asked, Nala, do you want, even with her grandma, even with her TT, we say, Nala, do you want to tell them bye-bye? Even with us, do you want to give us a kiss? Do you want to give us a hug? She will say no, yes.
Now, I'm a firm believer of something that recently I learned, and it makes sense to me. I now don't believe in telling a child that's our secret. No, because secrets are harbored by pedophiles. Do that. So I get that. Don't say we got a secret. Say we got a surprise for mommy.
Olivia found a TikTok online and sent it to me, and I was bust out into tears because it was so profound. So the lady on TikTok had said that she teaches her children not the word secret, because there are manipulators and abusers that will say, keep this our little secret. This is our little secret. We're gonna keep this a secret. Don't tell your parents. Right. And so what she teaches her children is the word surprise.
So if somebody says that they have a secret, no, we don't keep secrets. We don't keep secrets.
So what she did, she tested her children. They had a photo shoot, and she told the photographer to tell her child, hey, come here, this is our little secret. And her daughter immediately corrected the photographer and said, we don't do secrets in our family. What are you talking about? And it was an immediate red flag. And so I thought that that was so profound, so beautiful. And so that is something that we implement in our household. And the other day, like, we were just joking, me and Nala, and she was like, Mommy, let me whisper in your ear. And this is our little secret. And I had to catch myself, and I was like, surprise. So that is something that we've implemented in our home. The lady on TikTok, thank you so much. I just thought that was so profound and so beautiful. But I am just a firm believer of, there was so much when we were growing up, and even in your generation, that children were so suppressed. And when we grew up, even your generation, my generation, that when you got out in the real world, you were like, whoa. And your parents run around. Like, I remember when my dad and Anissa dropped me off at college because you were overseas. And I remember when they left with the van, and I was in my college dorm, and I was just like, whoa. So like, I'm in Birmingham, even though my first cousin lives here, which is her nephew.
It's crazy because they grew up internationally. These two children of mine
but we never
grew up all around the world.
But we didn't get to have a voice in the household. Me with you, and then when I was living with my dad, that was just chaotic, as you guys have seen in the toxic parent video. And so he wasn't around really because he was dealing with his wives, and there was just free reign there.
That's kind of another reason why I never married anybody. My two children.
And so
I blame them wholly for me never remarrying.
It was no structure on the dad's side, / all kinds of just verbal abuse there, and then an emotional abuse there, and then just complete suppression on your end. So then
complete control over here, no control over here.
And then you wonder, but then we've had this conversation and we've semi-touched on it here, trigger warning. I was in a domestic violence relationship when I was 16.
And I hated that person. I never knew it, and I just could not stand that person.
But I didn't talk to you because I was so terrified to talk to you.
Why were you terrified? Because you knew
I knew that it would have turned into a situation, but also
it would have turned into a situation because
why you didn't tell me this, that, and the third.
You know, it wouldn't have turned into that. You know, it wouldn't have turned. It would have turned into
because
Mama,
I didn't feel
you need some money on your books. That
no, but it would have. But I felt. Because I never could talk to you as a child. Like, we didn't really grow our relationship a lot until I was like out of college. We grew closer when I was an adult.
And that's the crazy thing about it.
Because I could never talk to you. I was literally terrified.
I was always the one that was there. I was always the one that was, you know, checking to make sure that they were
there, but
good.
It was like we've talked about before, and Gibi will attest. We didn't know, but see, that comes from her growing up with her mom. We just didn't know on some days when you woke up. Are we cool today? We not?
Not when I woke up, when I came home from work.
No, in the morning, on the weekends as well. We just never knew. But most definitely during the week, when she came home, we never knew, okay, shit. I mean, we got like a 30-minute window before she gets home. Let's enjoy ourselves, have a good time, because we don't know when she steps through the door. Is she cool? Is she hot? Is she not? And most days, she was either warm to hot, which is pissed off.
Because I deal with soldiers all day. Then I come home. Wait a minute. Whoa. Then I come home. We know when we're teenagers at this point. We know we don't take clothes off and leave them by the door. We know that we don't leave book bags on the floor. We know socks and shoes don't belong on the floor. So I should not have to come home after working all day, starting my work day starting at 5 o'clock in the morning, working till 6 o'clock in the evening, dealing with soldiers and problems and people all day, to come home to shoes, book bags, everything strewn about the floor.
Okay.
When we know that that's not what we're supposed to do.
But why could you not just have come home and in a calm voice said, can y'all just pick up your stuff?
Every day?
No, it was not every day. Because most days, after a while, we learned, let's get this up before she gets home because we're gonna get yelled.
Because socks started coming up,
would be like
thrown in the trash, book bags in the trash.
But we would even
I'm only gonna tell you twice.
But we would even leave like a sock. I remember one time, like, I left some socks on the floor and had fell asleep on the couch in Fort Campbell. And you came home, I woke up, you were standing over me, and I got a whooping.
Because I'm tired of telling you. I'm tired of telling you.
But do you understand
don't put stuff
how
on the floor.
Minuscule a pair of socks, and I got beat out the frame.
Stop acting like you were abused. Don't do
I'm
that.
Not.
Do not do that. You making it seem as if I instituted corporal punishment.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay. I was not. You did not whip me. I'm not
saying I didn't spank you. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
You did not whip me? Like, you did not, you should whip me out the frame.
No, I did not beat you out the frame, Jessica.
Anissa.
You are really making it seem like on this TikTok, on this video.
Hold on. Well, Anissa, we are filming a YouTube video. Did Sonya not used to whoop me?
She's really making it seem as if I just whooped y'all out the frame for no reason.
Let's be real. Anissa has been honest about this. Anissa, did she not used to whoop me?
I just sat here and said you guys, I used to spank you. But I didn't beat you out the frame like you're making it seem.
Let her answer.
Don't do that.
Let her answer.
She used to beat us both, yes.
Okay.
I'm not saying I did.
Thank you.
But you're making it seem as if you're not putting this in context. You're making it seem as if I beat you out the frame for you breathing. And that was not the case.
But you used to hardly beat us. Like, where I used to go to school and have welts and not be able to sit down. Gibi, is that not true?
Yes.
I used to literally be walking and would sit down at school and be like, and have to ease down. And you used to say, you better not go to school and say nothing.
No, I did. I didn't never tell you that. That's a whole not
You
true.
did
I said,
until I got older. And
I
you
said
said,
you
if they
can tell-
call, I don't care.
I said you can tell anybody you want to. If they take you
Right,
out this
yeah.
house, it ain't no coming back. Because when you gone, you gone.
That's
You
what
out.
she used to say when I got older.
Just like I always said, you can run away if you want to. I promise
And she
you,
used to
with
say she's
everything,
never gonna come
with
find us.
everything that is within me, I'm not looking for no
Yes,
child.
that's what she used to tell us.
Run away from home if you want to. Stay gone.
She used to
Till you
say,
come. I ain't
they'll
looking
say
for
you on the
nobody.
street.
And
She
they
said
will.
they got drug houses. She said, I ain't coming to
I
find
ain't
y'all.
looking for nobody. You
Who
run away.
says that to their kids?
You
though,
run
bro?
away. You apparently don't want to be here. You ain't got to be. You're in a nice, warm, stable home. Had roof over your head, own room, big TV
But do
in
you
your
see
room.
how that kind of
I'm not-
suppression is toxic?
So Nala just runs away. You gonna be on the street looking for her?
I am going to freak
I ain't
them
looking for
out.
nobody. I'm
I am
sorry.
going to the
Nobody.
police. I'm putting flyers. I am going to find my child. This is a taken movie in real life.
I
here in
ain't looking
Birmingham,
for
Alabama.
nobody because that's apparently you want to be on the street.
No,
That's
because
where you
maybe
need
you
to
didn't
be.
think about, or that's a time to self-reflect that maybe I did something or my actions caused such great
Nope.
emotion that my child decided to leave my home because it was unbearable. Versus, I just ain't gonna come find you.
You eventually
How
you're
do
gonna
you
come
even
back.
think that that makes a child feel that I'm not valued enough for you to come and find
It's
me?
not that I'm valued enough. You decided what was on the other side of that door was better than what was in here. And
But
if you
when
can make
we
that
tried to talk to you,
and if
though,
you
you
can make that
wouldn't know us.
determination, cool. Stay where you at.
But-
Stay where you run to.
But when we even tried to talk to you a lot of times, you weren't having it. You were just like, it's my way, because I said so.
My daddy always said every house got rules. Every house has rules.
Yeah, but
if you
why-
don't like the rules that are part of this house, go get your own house
But the
and
rule-
make your own rules.
But the rule was we don't question anything that you say.
Exactly.
And it's your
My
way
rule.
or no way.
My rule.
But that is toxic.
And if that's not the rule that you set forth, you now have your own house with
but
rules.
that's toxic.
But does this house not have rules?
Absolutely, but there
And
is
they're
a
not.
lot of
And they're not the
leeway.
same as my rules.
But it's
Got
not
it.
toxic rules. I mean, when all of
You might feel like they're toxic rules. I felt like they were rules that produced two healthy, happy adults.
But growing up, I wasn't always happy.
You ain't gonna be happy as a child all the time.
But I would have been happier had I been able to talk to my parents more.
Well,
But I wasn't afforded those opportunities because y'all were like,
well, I'm sorry you feel
Y'all
like
couldn't.
you grew up in a
but with
dictatorship.
Nala,
I'm sorry about that.
100%. It was like North Korea.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry. North Korea is not sorry because North Korea raised two happy, healthy individuals.
But that is not okay.
That
Because
for your
when
house.
I grew up,
It's not
I needed,
okay for your
Anissa
house.
and I needed therapy behind things because we could have worked through those with our parents.
It's not okay
I'm
for
still
your
going
house.
on a healing journey because I have not healed from
Life
everything.
is a healing journey.
But everybody
always.
doesn't take it.
That's not. It ain't got nothing to do with me or you. Then.
But life
If
is
they
not. So
choose
you
not
can't
to-
say it's a healing journey.
It's a healing. Should be a healing journey for everybody.
But it's not.
I ain't got
That's
nothing to
why
do with
there's
that.
so many broken people and there's so many crimes and stuff going on because people are not healed. So you cannot say that life is a healing journey because that's not true.
It should be.
It takes a lot of courage and a lot of people don't want to heal because it is so painful.
Okay, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
So you can't say that. That's not a
what
fair
does that
statement.
What does that?
But you have to understand that in healing, which people don't want to do, you never took the time to heal from because y'all went through a lot.
We did.
As
We had
children.
it way worse
Way worse.
than you did. Way worse.
Hold on. What is the question that we had for Liv? Because I didn't forgot it.
I forgot to. I don't know.
I didn't
It was
forgot the
something. It was
question.
some. We're doing
Honey,
the
we're
video.
filming the YouTube video.
It's
and there
something
was
defaming
a topic
me. I don't
that
know.
came up. Oh, that's the question. Honey, be honest, and you're on camera. When Sonya is here and Nani does the smallest things, does she not be like, beat her, whoop her?
She just really is.
Hold on, let Liv
painting
answer.
me to be.
Let Liv answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And has we told her, Sanj, we're not doing that, and she'd be like, oh, if she was with me, she would have got beat. If she not said that?
That's when she
Hold
hits
on,
you in
let
your
her,
face.
Let her answer. Let her answer.
Yeah, you say that.
And that's when she hits you in your face.
But she does not hit us in our face.
She don't hit Mama Olivia in the face.
She can wind the wrong way, and you be like, beat it.
You know, but
Exactly.
you know what the beautiful part about all of this for the both of you all? I I have raised both my children. I have no more children to raise.
Love you.
So the beautiful part about it is, if she
But
wait a second, whoa, wait a second, one second. If you feel like that you don't want Nala to stay with Grammy or
that's a problem. I want you to
I
stay.
can't even finish.
Because you're not getting it. We want her to stay with you. That's the problem. But you're not willing to show patience and grow.
I'm not willing. She's not gonna hit me in my face. She not gonna. When I ask her to sit down, she not gonna not sit down.
But she does it now. But it's not because she wants to. It's because she is surely terrified of you. We don't want her to be.
Hell, I was terrified of my grandmother. My grandmother was 4'11".
Okay,
I'm afraid of shit. I'm just really afraid of that old lady.
But that is in the olden times, and that is sad that you were terrified of her, because that's not the side that I knew.
And again,
because I was never terrified of your grandmother nor your mother, so I hate that you felt those things. But that doesn't mean that you should continue that with future generations.
And Nala and I have this weird, really kind of relationship. We have a great relationship, and it's kind of weird. On some levels, she will go to do something, and I will look at her,
and she immediately stops.
And she'll stop and turn around and move.
She's completely terrified of you, and that breaks my heart. Why should a child that their grandparents are like gold on earth?
And I'm telling you,
should be completely
does she not
spoiled.
really love her granny?
She loves you so much.
Granny.
She asks for her all the time because you talk to her when she's not at school 100 times. From the time I pick her up at school in the morning, all throughout she really does.
Again,
but that's because she knows you're on the phone. When you are here in person, she is completely different because she is terrified of you.
Completely different or disciplined? There's a difference.
No, completely.
She's never
different.
hit Granny in the face.
Yes, she has. And you popped her
sure
a few
did.
times, and we
popped
got
her.
into it about that.
We sure did.
And that was a whole problem because we don't do
one
that.
time.
No, you have popped her several times.
No, I'm saying she hit me one time and I popped her.
When we went to Disney, you popped her several times because you said she was crying. Why are you putting your hands on her because she's crying? She's tired.
It wasn't because she was just crying. I know she had done something.
But that's what Liv just confirmed. She could cry the wrong way. And
you know what? No, but it's all good because Grammy has a whole Grammy life.
But that is not right. And that's why we're saying that telling a child that they are seen, they are heard, they are loved, makes them know that they are important.
Did I not tell y'all I loved y'all all the time?
You did. You said love me, but we never felt seen or heard because we didn't have a voice.
Because my mother, my entire existence in life, never told me she loved me.
But
she always said, well, I got to love you, I feed you, I clothe you. So in her generation, that was telling you that they loved you because they fed you and they clothed you.
I get it.
I always said I want to tell my kids every day.
And I acknowledge that you did.
What would I always say? You would say, was it always okay to say? Mommy, you could say, Mommy, I'm mad at you. But what would I say? Do you still love me?
You did.
Yes. And it's okay to be mad then. I don't care if you're mad, as long as you still love me, it's okay to be mad at me. I'm good with that. Because I'm not here to be your friend. So we all good with that. But again, I will say, and I will always say, for me, the differences of how we raise children,
they're night and day.
There's going to always be a chasm there because we just don't believe in raising kids the same way.
But now, because you haven't took the time to go on your healing journey. You have not dealt with things from your childhood, so you still project those onto Nala, which is not fair. She should be seen and heard and loved. Just like we are very in our prayer. I say all the time and live, God, allow us to support her big personality. She has a huge personality as a 2-year-old. I mean, she had it in the womb. That's how we knew. And then she came out. It's just gotten bigger and bigger. She has a very huge personality. Tiny little person, but just...
But the world is not always going to support that big personality.
But why is that? So she should dim her light for other people?
I'm not saying dim her light. I'm saying learn some self-discipline. Understand that
But she has self-discipline. When she goes in stores, she knows certain things. She's a 2-year-old child. There are 40-year-olds that can't control their emotions. That's why we have all this crime going around.
A 2-year-old child should not be on the floor in the Container Store because
that was the only time she's ever done that in the store.
And that just irked the crap.
And she was 1.5.
I never fell out in the floor as a kid. They never fell out in the floor.
Actually, she had just turned 2 because that was at Disney. No, that was last year. That was last year. She was just turned 1. We went.
And you was still at 1, not fall out in the floor.
But her birthday's in March, and we went in May, and she saw something in the store she wanted. We told her no, and she fell out
in the floor
at 1. That was the only time she's ever done that, and she's never done that since.
You and Gibi never fell out in the floor.
Okay, literally it was once. She's not done it since. A year later. She's not done it since.
We are just gonna have to agree to disagree that we parent differently.
I think that a lot of your generation needs to take notes from mine, and even the generation after me.
I think I did okay because you all wound up helping.
You did okay, but you didn't heal.
I think I'm very well healed. I think I'm good.
I don't think so. Is that a joke?
Yeah, I think I'm very well healed. I think I'm good.
You are a joke.
Sometimes I can be impatient. I'm going to admit that. Yes, I can be impatient.
Thank you for acknowledging that. You are very impatient.
I can be.
You guys, Nala will be crying, and she will say what?
Rudy, what's wrong with you? Why are you crying?
No, that's not what you said.
That is what I
What's the first thing you say? Oh, you crying, Rudy, I'm not gonna hear this. I got to go. And she will hang up.
Sure.
And Nala will be like, Grammy, hook up. Grammy. She gets so upset.
It ain't my place to make her feel supported, heard, and loved. Did she say that was her job?
You're one of the main pieces of her village.
But didn't she say that was her job? It was, listen.
But you make her feel abandoned when she's dealing with these big emotions, and you just say, I'm not gonna deal with that.
And maybe she needs to get a little bit older to understand that's not how Grammy is going to support you in your emotions.
But
wait a minute. Once you calm down and get yourself together, we could talk about it. But why are you doing all that extra?
But see, you're not understanding that. Because see, that's just a full circle moment that you just said that. So you said you want her to come to you when she's calm.
You want to get yourself together.
So had I come to you and just bust out crying the way Nala does, Mom, so-and-so is beating up on me and I'm in an abusive relationship, and I'm just hysterical, you would not have dealt with me. What?